Ladies and gentlemen, the mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It can either shape your reality or trap you in a world of limitations. Each thought you entertain has the potential to propel you forward or drag you down. Right now, there is nothing more important than understanding the immense power you hold within your own mind. You are the master of your thoughts, and it's time to take control. The first step in overcoming negative thoughts is recognizing them. These thoughts, often disguised as doubts, fears, or insecurities, are your mind's way of sabotaging you. They are like weeds in a garden, slowly choking the life out of the flowers you are trying to grow. But here's the truth. Negative thoughts do not define who you are, nor do they have any power over you unless you give them that power. Now, this is where the magic happens. You have the ability to change your internal dialogue. Every negative thought that arises can be replaced with a positive, empowering one. It may not happen overnight, but with practice, you can reprogram your mind to focus on the positive. Replace "I can't" with "I can." "I am not good enough" with "I am more than enough," and "I will fail" with "I will succeed." This simple shift can change your entire outlook on life. Emotional barriers often accompany negative thoughts. These barriers are built over time, often from past experiences, disappointments, or fears of the unknown. But you are stronger than any past emotion that tries to hold you back. Do not let your past define your future. Build emotional resilience by focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. You are not a prisoner of your emotions unless you choose to be. The path to success is never easy, but it is always worth it. Persistence is the key. The people who achieve great things are not the ones who avoid failure. They are the ones who refuse to quit in the face of adversity. Every successful individual has faced setbacks, doubts, and challenges. What separates them from the rest is their refusal to let those obstacles define them. They press forward, no matter the difficulty, because they understand that every step, no matter how small, takes them closer to their goal. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools in overcoming negative thoughts and emotional barriers. See it in your mind's eye before it happens in reality. Visualize your success, feel the emotions of accomplishment, and let that vision pull you forward. When you consistently visualize your success, your body will take the necessary actions to turn that vision into reality. But it's not enough to simply think about success or feel it. You must discipline your thoughts and actions to ensure that you remain focused on the end goal. The mind without discipline is like a ship without a rudder. It will drift aimlessly. You must master your thoughts, direct them toward your desired outcome, and refuse to let distractions or negative emotions derail you. Discipline is the bridge between your current reality and the life you envision. Finally, remember this: action is everything. Thoughts and emotions are powerful, but without action, they mean nothing. The most successful people in the world are the ones who turn their thoughts into actions. They do not sit idly by waiting for things to happen. They make things happen. Every single day, take action toward your goals, no matter how small the step may seem. It is the consistent, determined action that leads to success. In conclusion, remember this: you are not defined by your negative thoughts or emotional barriers. You have the power to overcome them. Take control of your mind, change your internal dialogue, build emotional resilience. Persist in the face of challenges, visualize your success, practice discipline, and take consistent action. The world is yours to conquer, and nothing, no one, and no thought will stop you from achieving greatness. Now, go out and show the world what you are made of. The mind is a force unlike any other. It is the birthplace of everything you will ever achieve or ever fail to achieve. It is the silent architect of your reality, shaping your life based on what you believe, think, and feel. From the moment you wake up to the second your head hits the pillow, your mind is at work, creating possibilities or barriers. It is your greatest ally, or it can become your worst enemy, depending on how you choose to wield it. The first step to overcoming negative thoughts and emotional barriers is realizing this simple but profound truth. Your mind holds the key to everything. It is not circumstances, not people, not luck. It is the power of your own mind that determines your fate. Too often we let our minds run on autopilot. letting negative thoughts slip by unchecked, and allowing fear, doubt, and uncertainty to take root. But here's the truth. Negative thoughts are not facts. They are just thoughts, fleeting, unimportant, and easily changeable. The moment you accept that your thoughts do not define you, you gain the power to change them. The ability to shape your reality lies in your ability to control the thoughts that occupy your mind. If you do not learn to master your mind will master you. The choice is yours. Every single thought you have sends a signal to your body, shaping your emotions, actions, and ultimately your results. If you focus on fear and doubt, your body responds with stress, tension, and paralysis. But if you focus on positivity, possibility, and faith in yourself, your body responds with energy, confidence, and action. In this way, your mind has the power to either propel you forward or keep you stuck in a cycle of limitation. The mind, like a muscle, can be trained. It can be conditioned to think positively, to see opportunity, and to believe in your own potential. The first step is to understand that you are the one in control. It's time to stop living your life by default. So many people go through life reacting to their circumstances rather than creating their circumstances. They let negative thoughts dictate their decisions and let emotional barriers dictate their actions. They allow fear, worry, and self-doubt to guide them instead of tapping into the infinite well of power within them. But you are not like most people. You are different. You understand that your thoughts are your tools that can build or destroy, create or tear down. You are the one who decides what thoughts to entertain and which to reject. You have the ability to rewrite your story, to change your mental script from one of limitation to one of possibility. The power of the mind is not just a concept. It's a tangible, measurable force that can be harnessed for success. Think about the great achievers in history. What made them stand out? It wasn't their circumstances, it wasn't their upbringing, it wasn't luck. What separated them from the crowd was their belief in themselves, their unwavering conviction that they could achieve their goals, regardless of the obstacles in their way. They understood that the mind is where all success begins. The mind is the starting point of every great achievement. They knew that if they could master their thoughts, they could master their lives. When you understand the power of your mind, you begin to see the opportunities that others miss. You start to notice the countless possibilities around you that were once hidden by the fog of doubt and fear. Your perspective shifts. You no longer see failure as a dead end, but as a lesson, a stepping stone to greater success. You start to see challenges as opportunities to grow, rather than threats to your happiness. The power of the mind is the power to change your perception of the world, and in doing so, change your reality. But just knowing that you have power over your mind isn't enough. You must act on it. Every time a negative thought arises, you must consciously choose to replace it with a positive one. Every time fear tries to take hold, you must remind yourself that fear is just an illusion. Every time self-doubt creeps in, you must choose to trust in your ability to succeed. This requires effort, persistence, and unwavering commitment to your goals. It requires you to break free from the old patterns of thinking that have held you back for so long. The most important part of understanding the power of the mind is realizing that you have a choice. You don't have to accept the negative thoughts that arise in your head. You don't have to accept the emotional barriers that limit your potential. You are the one who decides what you focus on. The mind is a garden, and you are the gardener. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, those are the thoughts that will grow. But if you plant seeds of belief, possibility, and hope, those are the thoughts that will flourish. The choice is yours, and with that choice comes the power to create the life you desire. In every moment, you are planting the seeds for your future. Your thoughts today are shaping your tomorrow. So ask yourself, what kind of future do you want to create? If you want a future of success, abundance, and happiness, then it starts with the thoughts you choose to think today. If you want to overcome the negative thoughts and emotional barriers that have held you back, it begins with taking responsibility for your mind. You must take full ownership of your thoughts and actions, knowing that your mind will work for you or against you, depending on how you use it. To truly master your mind, you must believe in the power of your own thoughts. You must trust that your mind is capable of achieving greatness. The only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself. Your thoughts are the foundation of everything you will accomplish. The more you cultivate positive thoughts, the more you will see the world around you change. And as you continue to master your mind, you will begin to notice the emotional barriers that once seemed so strong begin to crumble before your eyes. When you control your mind, you control your destiny. Negative thoughts are silent assassins, lurking in the background, waiting to rob you of your potential. They creep into your mind when you least expect it, distorting your reality and clouding your judgment. These thoughts have the power to cripple your progress if left unchecked. And yet, most people go through life unaware of how often they let negativity control their actions. The first step to overcoming any challenge in life is identifying the enemy within, those negative thoughts that pull you away from your goals, your dreams, and your success. If you can learn to recognize these thoughts, you take away their power. You are no longer at the mercy of your own mind. You become the master of it. Many people spend their entire lives unwittingly feeding their minds with negativity. It could be the self-doubt that whispers you're not good enough, or the inner critic that constantly says you'll never succeed. These thoughts may feel natural, but they are not facts. They are simply patterns that you have allowed to take root in your mind over time. What's worse is that they often go unnoticed. You think they're just a part of who you are, but they're not. They are thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. Identifying negative thoughts is the first step in breaking free from the cycle of self-sabotage. You must become aware of how often negativity infiltrates your thinking and understand that you have the power to change it. These negative thoughts can be sneaky. They often start as small doubts or concerns, but if left unchecked, they snowball into bigger barriers. What if I fail? Becomes I can't do this. Maybe I'm not cut out for this becomes I'll never be successful. Before you know it, a simple thought of uncertainty has transformed into an unshakable belief that limits your actions. It's critical to spot these thoughts the moment they arise. The longer you let them sit in your mind, the more deeply ingrained they become. You can't fight an enemy you don't see coming, and so you must train yourself to recognize negative thinking patterns before they take hold. The truth is, negativity is often rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. These fears are natural. They are wired into us as part of our survival instinct. But they can also be incredibly destructive if they control your thinking. Fear masquerades as logic. It tricks you into believing that playing it safe is the best option, even though deep down you know that playing it safe will only keep you stuck. Fear tells you that taking risks will lead to disaster, that making a mistake is a reflection of your worth. But the reality is, mistakes are simply opportunities to learn and grow. The more you allow these negative thoughts to guide your decisions, the further away you get from your true potential. To identify negative thoughts, you must begin by paying attention to your inner dialogue. What are you telling yourself on a daily basis? What do you believe about yourself, your abilities, and your future? Are you speaking to yourself with kindness, encouragement, and confidence? Or are you tearing yourself down with words of doubt, insecurity, and criticism? The first step is to listen carefully to your thoughts. Most of us have been conditioned to believe that our internal dialogue is just a reflection of reality, but in truth, it is just a collection of our beliefs, fears, and past experiences. If you are constantly telling yourself that you can't achieve your goals, that you don't deserve success, or that you're not capable, those thoughts will become your reality. They will shape your actions, your decisions, and your outcomes. Negative thoughts can also be reinforced by the people around you. If you're surrounded by negativity, doubt, or criticism, it's easy to adopt the same mindset. People's opinions of you can seep into your consciousness and become your own beliefs. When others tell you that you won't make it, or that your dreams are unrealistic, it's easy to internalize those words and let them guide your actions. But you must remember that other people's opinions are not facts. Their negativity is a reflection of their own limitations, not yours. Do not allow their doubts to become your reality. You are the one who decides what you believe about yourself. One of the most destructive forms of negative thinking is what I call catastrophizing, a tendency to imagine the worst possible outcome in any given situation. When you catastrophize, you automatically assume that any setback or challenge will lead to failure. and that failure will somehow define you. This type of thinking paralyzes you, making you afraid to take any action for fear of making a mistake. It's important to recognize this pattern and challenge it. Instead of imagining the worst, imagine the best. What if this challenge leads to your greatest success? What if overcoming this obstacle propels you forward in ways you never imagined? Negative thoughts don't just come in the form of doubt or fear. They can also show up as limiting beliefs about what is possible. These thoughts often sound like, "I'm too old for this, I don't have enough experience, or I don't have the resources I need." These beliefs limit your potential by convincing you that you are not capable of achieving your goals. But the truth is, you are only as limited as you allow yourself to be. If you believe you are too old, too inexperienced, or too underqualified to succeed, you will never take the necessary steps to achieve your goals. You must break free from these limiting beliefs and remind yourself that success is not determined by your age, experience, or resources. It is determined by your mindset and your willingness to take action. To truly overcome negative thoughts, you must first become aware of them. You must recognize when they arise and understand that they are not permanent. They are simply thoughts, passing clouds in the sky of your mind. The moment you identify a negative thought, you have the power to change it. You can replace it with a positive, empowering thought. You can choose to believe in your ability to succeed, even in the face of adversity. The key is to remain vigilant. Pay attention to your thoughts, and when negativity tries to take root, replace it with something positive. The more you do this, the more you will train your mind to focus on the possibilities instead of the limitations. Negative thoughts may arise, but they do not have to control you. You are the one who decides which thoughts to entertain. By identifying these thoughts, challenging them, and replacing them with positive alternatives, you can break free from the mental chains that have held you back for far too long. The power to change your life lies within your ability to change your thoughts. Your internal dialogue is the single most powerful force shaping your reality. It's the conversation you have with yourself every day, whether you realize it or not. Every thought you think, every word you speak to yourself, creates your perception of the world and ultimately dictates your actions. If you want to change your life, you must first change the way you speak to yourself. Your internal dialogue is the foundation on which everything else is built. You cannot expect to achieve greatness if you constantly tell yourself that you are unworthy or incapable. It all starts within your mind, with the words you choose to say to yourself. We often don't realize how damaging our internal dialogue can be. We would never speak to others the way we speak to ourselves. Imagine telling your friend, "You'll never succeed, you're not good enough, you'll fail." You would never say that to anyone you care about, yet many of us say these things to ourselves every single day. The way you talk to yourself shapes your self-image, your confidence, and your beliefs about what's possible. When you feed yourself negative self-talk, you are feeding your mind with poison that undermines your success. If you want to overcome negative thoughts and emotional barriers, you must start by changing the way you talk to yourself. The first step in changing your internal dialogue is becoming aware of it. Take a moment to listen to your thoughts. Pay attention to the language you use when you think about yourself, your goals, and your future. Are you using empowering language that encourages and motivates you, or are you using language that undermines your confidence and limits your potential? The words we use are incredibly powerful. They carry energy. Positive words inspire action, while negative words drain our energy and prevent us from moving forward. If your inner dialogue is filled with negativity, it's no wonder that you're feeling stuck, defeated, or unsure of your abilities. Negative words reinforce negative beliefs, which hold you back from achieving anything meaningful. To change your internal dialogue, you need to replace the negative self-talk with positive, empowering statements. When you catch yourself thinking, "I can't do this," stop immediately and replace it with, "I am capable of overcoming any challenge." When you think, "I'm not good enough," replace it with, "I am more than enough." If you think, "I'll never succeed," remind yourself, success is inevitable for those who persist. The more you replace the negative thoughts with positive affirmations, the more you'll begin to shift your mindset. It's not enough to simply think positive thoughts. You must speak them aloud, write them down, and believe in them with every fiber of your being. One of the most effective ways to change your internal dialogue is through the use of affirmations. Affirmations are simple positive statements that reprogram your subconscious mind. They are designed to challenge and replace the limiting beliefs and negative self-talk that have been holding you back. Start each day by repeating powerful affirmations that align with your goals. Say them with conviction, as if they are already true. I am strong, I am capable, I am worthy of success. These affirmations help to rewire your brain and create new thought patterns. Over time, the more you affirm your greatness, the more your mind will begin to believe it. As your belief in yourself grows, so will your confidence and so will your ability to take decisive action toward your goals. Changing your internal dialogue isn't a one-time event. It is a continual process. Negative thoughts will arise, but instead of allowing them to define you, you must replace them with positive, empowering thoughts. It takes time and consistent effort to reprogram your mind, but it is absolutely worth it. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. As you begin to change the way you talk to yourself, you will notice a shift in your energy, your actions, and your results. You'll feel more confident, more motivated, and more capable of tackling whatever challenges come your way. The moment you start believing in your potential is the moment you start unlocking it. The language you use when speaking to yourself also affects how you approach obstacles. If your inner dialogue is filled with defeatist language, you will approach challenges with hesitation and fear. You will shy away from taking risks because deep down you don't believe you're capable of overcoming them. But when your internal dialogue is filled with empowering words, you begin to view obstacles as opportunities for growth. Instead of saying, "This is too hard," you will say, "I am capable of handling this. I can figure it out." Your inner dialogue becomes a source of strength, propelling you forward in the face of adversity. This shift in internal dialogue also plays a crucial role in building resilience. Life is full of challenges, but how you respond to those challenges determines your success. If you constantly tell yourself that you can't handle tough situations, you'll be less likely to persevere when things get difficult. But if you speak to yourself with confidence, resilience, and determination, you will be far more likely to bounce back from setbacks and keep pushing forward. Your internal dialogue influences your emotional state, and your emotional state influences your actions. If you speak to yourself in a way that encourages resilience, you are more likely to stay focused and determined, even when things get tough. Another critical aspect of changing your internal dialogue is recognizing that you are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are not who you are. They are simply mental patterns that you can change. Just because a negative thought arises does not mean it is true. It's just a thought. And you have the power to choose which thoughts to accept and which to dismiss. You don't have to believe every thought that enters your mind. In fact, most of the negative thoughts we have are not based on reality. They are based on fear, insecurity, or past experiences, but they do not define your future. You are in control of what you choose to think, and by choosing empowering thoughts, you take control of your life. As you change your internal dialogue, you will begin to see the world through a different lens. Instead of seeing obstacles as insurmountable barriers, you'll see them as stepping stones to your success. Instead of feeling unworthy of success, you'll feel confident and deserving of it. Your thoughts will no longer hold you back. They will propel you forward. The way you speak to yourself will become a powerful tool that supports your goals, your dreams, and your ultimate success. So, start today. Change the way you talk to yourself and watch as your life transforms. You are your own biggest cheerleader. Emotional resilience is the strength to rise above the chaos of life and remain grounded in the face of adversity. It is the ability to withstand life's storms, to face challenges head-on, and still emerge stronger, more capable, and more determined. Life is not without its struggles. Every person, no matter how successful, will face moments of difficulty, pain, or failure. It's not the absence of hardship that defines us, but how we respond to it. Resilience is not about avoiding the storm, it's about learning how to navigate through it and come out stronger on the other side. The secret to overcoming life's challenges is not in avoiding them, but in developing the emotional strength to weather them. Resilience starts with the understanding that you are in control of your emotional state. External circumstances may be beyond your control, but how you respond to them is always within your power. Life will throw curveballs. People will disappoint you. You will face rejection, failure, and heartache. But in those moments, you must remember that your emotional response is yours to decide. You do not have to let the challenges of life dictate how you feel, think, or act. When you learn to control your emotions, you gain the power to control your life. The key to emotional resilience is the understanding that your emotional state is not determined by the circumstances around you, but by the decisions you make in response to them. At the core of emotional resilience is the ability to stay present, to focus on what you can control, and to release what you cannot. Too often we become consumed by things outside our control. What others think of us, what might happen in the future, the mistakes we've made in the past. These thoughts pull us away from the present moment and prevent us from moving forward. Resilience, however, is about letting go of the things you cannot change and putting all of your energy into what you can. The more you focus on what you can control, the more empowered you become. You can control your reactions, your thoughts, and your actions. You can choose to learn from every setback, to grow from every challenge, and to move forward with renewed strength. A crucial element of emotional resilience is the ability to reframe negative experiences. Every setback, every disappointment, every failure contains a lesson. Resilient people don't view challenges as roadblocks, they view them as stepping stones. They don't see failure as defeat, they see it as an opportunity for growth. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, resilient individuals ask themselves, what can I learn from this? How can I improve? What will I do differently next time? This mindset shift is powerful. It allows you to embrace setbacks as part of the process, rather than viewing them as permanent setbacks. When you see challenges as opportunities for growth, you no longer fear failure. You welcome it, knowing that it is an essential part of your journey. Resilience also requires the courage to be vulnerable. Too often, people view vulnerability as weakness, but it is actually a strength. Being emotionally resilient does not mean being impervious to pain or avoiding difficult emotions. It means having the strength to face those emotions, acknowledge them, and move through them with grace. It is okay to feel sadness, anger, fear, or frustration. These emotions are part of the human experience, and allowing yourself to feel them is a necessary part of the healing process. The key is not to allow these emotions to control you. Acknowledge them, learn from them, and then release them. The more you allow yourself to process your emotions rather than suppress them, the stronger your emotional resilience will become. Another essential element of emotional resilience is maintaining a sense of hope and optimism, even when things seem impossible. Hope is the fuel that drives us forward in the darkest of times. When faced with challenges, resilient people are able to maintain a positive outlook on the future. They trust that things will get better, even when they can't yet see how. They understand that hardship is temporary, and that their efforts will eventually lead to better days. Hope is not about ignoring reality. It's about choosing to believe that despite the obstacles, there is a brighter future ahead. When you cultivate hope, you develop the emotional strength to keep moving forward, even when the path seems uncertain. In addition to hope, resilience requires a strong sense of purpose. People who are emotionally resilient have a clear understanding of their goals, their values, and their reasons for continuing to push forward. They are driven by a sense of purpose that keeps them going, even when they encounter setbacks. Resilient people know that they are working towards something greater than themselves, something that is worth fighting for. This sense of purpose gives them the strength to endure difficult times and the motivation to keep going, even when they feel like giving up. When you have a sense of purpose, you are less likely to be derailed by temporary setbacks. You remain focused on the bigger picture, and this perspective helps you stay emotionally strong no matter what challenges arise. Another important aspect of emotional resilience is self-compassion. In the face of hardship, it's easy to be hard on yourself. You may feel like you should be doing better, or that you're not strong enough to handle the challenges life is throwing at you. But this kind of thinking only makes things harder. Resilience is not about being perfect or never struggling. It's about being kind to yourself when things go wrong. It's about acknowledging your mistakes, forgiving yourself, and allowing yourself to heal. When you practice self-compassion, you allow yourself to be human. You recognize that you are doing the best you can, and that's enough. This mindset shift is vital for emotional resilience because it helps you bounce back faster after setbacks and continue moving forward without the weight of self-criticism holding you back. Building emotional resilience is not an overnight process. It requires time, practice, and patience. But every effort you make to strengthen your emotional resilience pays off. With each challenge you face, you become stronger, more capable, and more confident in your ability to handle whatever life throws your way. Resilience is not a trait you are born with. It is a skill that can be developed. It is a mindset that you can cultivate. The more you practice resilience, the more natural it becomes, until it becomes an integral part of who you are. Life will continue to present challenges, but with emotional resilience, you will always have the strength to overcome them. Resilience is not about avoiding adversity. It's about facing it with courage, grace, and the unwavering belief that you can rise above it. No matter how tough life gets, you have the power within you to keep moving forward, to stay strong, and to achieve everything you set your mind to. Persistence is the driving force that separates those who achieve their dreams from those who simply wish for them. It's the quality that allows you to keep going when the world tells you to stop, to push forward when everything inside of you wants to quit. Persistence is the ultimate test of character, the relentless pursuit of a goal despite obstacles, setbacks, or failures. It is not about having an easy path or a perfect journey. It is about continuing the journey, regardless of the challenges that may come your way. The truth is, without persistence, even the greatest talents and most brilliant ideas will falter. It is persistence that takes a good idea and transforms it into success. The power of persistence lies in its ability to overcome temporary failures. Every successful person has faced rejection, disappointment, and failure. What sets them apart is not that they are immune to these setbacks, but that they refuse to let them define their path. When faced with difficulty, most people give up, believing that failure is final. But those who are persistent understand that failure is simply a step on the road to success. Every setback, every failure, is an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. It is through persistence that you discover your true potential and unlock doors that would otherwise remain closed. Persistence requires an unwavering belief in your goal, even when the outcome seems uncertain. It's easy to feel motivated when things are going well, but true persistence is tested when the road gets tough. It is in the face of adversity that you must remind yourself why you started in the first place. Your why is your fuel, your driving force, and it will keep you moving when everything else seems to be falling apart. When you face obstacles that seem insurmountable, when others tell you that it's not worth it, your belief in your goal must be stronger than the doubts that surround you. Persistence is not about ignoring the obstacles. It is about seeing the obstacles as part of the process and continuing forward despite them. Another critical element of persistence is the ability to stay focused on the long-term vision. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results or when progress seems slow. We live in a world that values instant gratification, but true success takes time. Those who are persistent understand that the journey is long, but the destination is worth it. They stay focused on the bigger picture, knowing that every small effort compounds over time. Persistence is about putting in the work day after day, even when the rewards seem far off. It's about building momentum, piece by piece, until one day you look up and realize that you've made far more progress than you ever thought possible. In addition to staying focused, persistence also requires adaptability. The path to success is rarely straight. There will be detours, unexpected obstacles, and moments when things don't go as planned. Persistence is not about rigidly sticking to a course of action despite clear evidence that it's not working. It's about being willing to adjust and adapt when necessary. Those who are persistent are not afraid to pivot, to change their approach, or to try something new. They are committed to the outcome, not the method. This ability to adapt allows persistent individuals to keep moving forward, even when they face setbacks that require a change of direction. The key to persistence is the willingness to keep going, no matter how many times you have to adjust your approach along the way. One of the most powerful aspects of persistence is the mental toughness it builds. Every time you push through a challenge, every time you face failure and keep going, you strengthen your ability to handle future obstacles. Persistence is like building a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. Each challenge you face is an opportunity to develop resilience and fortitude. As you persist, you become more confident in your ability to handle whatever life throws at you. This mental toughness becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. The more you persist, the stronger you become, and the easier it becomes to face future challenges. But persistence doesn't mean working endlessly without rest or reflection. It's important to understand that persistence involves working smart, not just hard. Persistence requires clarity of purpose, effective planning, and the ability to recognize when you need to adjust your approach. It's about working with focus, energy, and intention, not simply putting in more hours. Often, persistence means taking small, consistent steps in the right direction. It's about making progress every single day, no matter how small. The key to persistence is in making incremental progress toward your goal, because every step forward, no matter how small, is still progress. Resilience is a critical component of persistence. The world is full of obstacles, rejection, failure, criticism, doubt. It's easy to let these setbacks derail you, to take them personally, and to lose sight of your goals. But resilient individuals understand that failure is not personal. It is simply feedback. Rejection is not a reflection of your worth. It is an opportunity to refine your approach. Persistence means you don't give up when life gets tough. Instead, you find new ways to move forward. Resilience teaches you to bounce back from setbacks, to learn from your mistakes, and to keep going. The role of persistence in achieving success cannot be overstated. Talent alone is not enough. In fact, many talented people never reach their full potential because they lack persistence. Success is not about how many times you get knocked down, it's about how many times you get back up. Those who are persistent view failure as part of the process, not as an obstacle that stops them. They are committed to their goals, and nothing can deter them from reaching them. Persistence is the relentless pursuit of your dreams, no matter how long it takes or how many obstacles you face along the way. In the end, persistence is the quality that will determine your success. It is the force that will push you through the toughest times, that will keep you focused when distractions arise, and that will drive you toward your goals no matter what. Those who persist are the ones who will eventually succeed because they refuse to quit. They believe that success is not a matter of luck or timing, it is a matter of persistence. The power to achieve everything you desire lies within your ability to keep going, to keep pushing forward, and to never give up. Visualization is the most powerful tool you possess to turn your dreams into reality. It is the ability to see with clarity and detail what you want to achieve in your mind's eye before it ever becomes real in the physical world. The mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. When you visualize your goals, your brain treats them as if they are already happening, sending powerful signals to your subconscious to align your thoughts, actions, and behaviors with the outcome you desire. The power of visualization is not just wishful thinking. It is a proven technique that has helped countless successful people achieve extraordinary things, from athletes to business, moguls to creatives and beyond. The foundation of visualization is the principle that your thoughts shape your reality. Everything you see in the world around you, every building, every piece of technology, every business, was once a thought in someone's mind. Before anything tangible is created, it first exists in the realm of imagination. This means that what you focus on in your mind becomes a magnet that attracts the circumstances, people, and opportunities necessary to bring your vision into the physical world. When you consciously visualize your goals and dreams with intense emotion and clarity, you are sending a direct message to your subconscious that guides your decisions and actions toward manifesting those desires. Visualization also serves as a tool for clarity. Often, we know what we want, but aren't exactly sure how to get there. We get overwhelmed by the process, by the uncertainties, or by the obstacles we think we might face. Visualization helps to eliminate that uncertainty by allowing you to mentally rehearse every step of the journey. By vividly imagining yourself achieving your goal, you break the process down into clear, actionable steps. You begin to see the path ahead of you with greater clarity, and you feel more prepared to take action. Visualization is not about waiting for things to happen. It is about actively preparing yourself mentally for the journey ahead. You visualize not just the end result, but also the process, the obstacles, and the triumphs along the way. What makes visualization so effective is that it activates the same neural pathways in your brain as if you were actually performing the actions you are visualizing. This means that when you imagine yourself succeeding, your brain begins to form the same connections it would if you were physically performing those tasks. As a result, you increase your confidence, your belief in your abilities, and your readiness to act. The more you practice visualization, the more your mind becomes attuned to the behaviors and attitudes necessary for success. You become mentally prepared to face challenges, to make decisions, and to take bold actions. Through repetition, you reprogram your subconscious mind to align with the goal you are visualizing so that when opportunities arise, you are ready to seize them. One of the most powerful aspects of visualization is its ability to overcome self-doubt and fear. Most people fail to take action toward their goals because they are paralyzed by fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. These fears are often the result of negative mental programming, limiting beliefs, and past experiences that hold us back. Visualization rewires this thinking by replacing fear with confidence. When you imagine yourself succeeding, overcoming obstacles, and achieving your goals, you build an internal image of success. This image becomes your new reality, one in which you are capable, worthy, and powerful. By visualizing your success over and over again, you remove the power of fear and replace it with the power of belief. You begin to see yourself as someone who is capable of achieving greatness, and this belief becomes the driving force behind your actions. Visualization is not just a mental exercise, it is an emotional one as well. It involves creating a vivid mental picture of what you want to achieve, but it also requires you to tap into the emotions that accompany that success. When you visualize your goals, you must feel the emotions of already having accomplished them. How does it feel to achieve your dreams? How does it feel to stand at the pinnacle of success? Is it a feeling of pride, excitement, gratitude, or relief? The more you immerse yourself in these emotions, the more real and tangible your goal becomes in your mind. Your emotional connection to your visualization is what makes it powerful because emotion fuels action. The stronger the emotion, the stronger the drive to take the necessary steps to bring the vision to life. For visualization to be truly effective, it must be specific and detailed. The more detailed your mental picture, the more your subconscious mind will begin to believe that this vision is not just possible, but inevitable. Don't just visualize vague outcomes like I want to be successful. Visualize the exact success you want, the people involved, the place, the feelings, the steps you take, and even the challenges you overcome along the way. The more specific your vision, the more real it will feel. Your mind will begin to perceive it as something achievable, and that perception will shape the decisions and actions you take toward making it a reality. It's important to remember that visualization alone will not make your goals manifest. It is a tool to help you build the mental and emotional foundation for success, but action is the key to bringing your vision into the physical world. Once you have a clear and detailed visualization, you must take concrete steps toward your goals. Visualizing success will help you build the belief and confidence needed to take those steps. It will help you overcome any doubts or fears that may arise along the way. But action is still required. You must continue to move toward your goal, taking consistent, focused action, even when the path isn't always clear. When you practice visualization consistently, it becomes a powerful habit that influences every area of your life. It strengthens your belief in your abilities and your capacity to create the life you desire. Visualization is not about hoping or wishing. It is about mentally preparing yourself for success and aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your desired outcome. It brings your dreams into focus, guides you through the process of achieving them, and strengthens your resolve to make them a reality. If you want to turn your dreams into tangible achievements, start by visualizing them. See the success in your mind's eye before it manifests in the world around you. Create a vivid, emotional picture of what you want to achieve, and let that image guide your thoughts, decisions, and actions. Visualize your success not as a distant dream, but as a present reality, one that you are actively working toward. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have. Use it to your advantage, and watch as your dreams begin to unfold before you. Self-discipline is the cornerstone of success. Without it, even the most brilliant plans and the grandest dreams remain unfulfilled. It is the ability to push yourself to take action even when you don't feel like it, and to stay focused on the long-term rewards rather than succumbing to short-term temptations. Self-discipline is not about rigidly controlling every aspect of your life or denying yourself enjoyment. It is about making choices that align with your greater goals, even when it is difficult. It is the art of mastering your own mind, and it is the key to unlocking your full potential. Without self-discipline, all the talent, knowledge, and opportunities in the world will not be enough to carry you across the finish line. The importance of self-discipline lies in its ability to help you stay committed to your goals. Success does not come from making a one-time effort or from being motivated in the moment. It is the result of consistent, sustained effort over time. Self-discipline is what keeps you on track when the initial excitement fades, when the path gets tough, or when distractions seem more appealing. It's easy to work hard when everything is going well, but true discipline is about working hard even when no one is watching, even when no immediate reward is in sight. It's about doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Self-discipline also cultivates the ability to delay gratification. We live in a world that thrives on instant rewards, social media notifications, fast food, quick fixes. But true success is rarely achieved through instant gratification. Real success takes time, effort, and sacrifice. Self-discipline teaches you how to resist the urge for immediate pleasure in favor of long-term satisfaction. It's about saying no to the distractions and temptations that pull you away from your goals, even when it feels uncomfortable or challenging. It requires the strength to make the harder choice now for the greater reward later. By practicing self-discipline, you train yourself to stay focused on your vision and to delay gratification for the sake of achieving something far greater. Another crucial aspect of self-discipline is the ability to prioritize. Life is full of demands, distractions, and competing priorities. Self-discipline helps you decide what is truly important and ensures that your time, energy, and efforts are directed toward those things that align with your goals. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of daily life, to respond to every email, every request, every interruption. But self-discipline is the ability to stay focused on your priorities and to say no to things that don't serve your greater purpose. It's about making deliberate choices about where you invest your time and energy, understanding that your resources are limited, and using them wisely to create the life you want. In addition to helping you stay focused and prioritize your efforts, self-discipline builds the habit of consistency. Consistency is what separates those who succeed from those who fail. Success is not built on rare bursts of effort. It is built on small, consistent actions taken day after day. Self-discipline is the force that makes consistency possible. It's the ability to show up every day, to take the necessary steps, to push forward even when it feels hard or inconvenient. Through self-discipline, you develop the habit of doing the things that matter, day in and day out, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Over time, these small, consistent actions add up to extraordinary results. Self-discipline also plays a pivotal role in building mental strength. In any pursuit, there will be challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. It's easy to be motivated when things are going well, but true mental strength is developed in moments of adversity. When you face difficulties, self-discipline is the inner strength that keeps you going. It helps you push through the discomfort, the frustration, and the fear, even when your mind tells you to quit. With self-discipline, you train yourself to persevere, to keep moving forward despite the obstacles in your way. This mental toughness is what enables you to stay committed to your vision and to continue making progress even when the road is tough. One of the most powerful effects of self-discipline is its ability to build confidence. When you consistently show up for yourself, when you stay true to your commitments, you build trust in your own abilities. Self-discipline teaches you that you are capable of achieving what you set out to do. Every time you push yourself to take action, even when it's difficult, you reinforce the belief that you are strong enough to accomplish your goals. This confidence becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. The more disciplined you are, the more confident you become in your ability to succeed. With each success, your belief in yourself grows, and that belief fuels even greater efforts toward your goals. It's important to recognize that self-discipline is not about perfection. There will be days when you fall short, when you slip up, or when you lose focus. But self-discipline is not about being perfect. It's about getting back on track as quickly as possible. It's about taking responsibility for your actions, learning from your mistakes, and continuing to move forward with determination. When you view self-discipline as a skill to be developed, rather than a set of rules to follow, you give yourself permission to make mistakes and keep growing. Success is built on resilience, and self-discipline is the foundation that helps you bounce back from setbacks. Self-discipline is also essential for long-term growth. In the pursuit of success, there will be moments when you need to sacrifice instant pleasures for future rewards. Self-discipline teaches you how to embrace those sacrifices, to do the hard work now, so that you can enjoy the fruits of your labor later. It helps you stay focused on the bigger picture, on the vision of who you want to become and what you want to achieve. In a world where distractions are everywhere, self-discipline is the ability to keep your eyes on your long-term goals, to keep taking action even when the immediate rewards seem distant. It's the fuel that drives you forward, even when the journey feels long or uncertain. Without self-discipline, even the most promising opportunities will be wasted. It's not enough to have dreams, desires, or intentions. To achieve success, you must take consistent, disciplined action. You must be willing to put in the work, to stay focused, and to keep pushing forward, no matter what obstacles you encounter. Self-discipline is the force that transforms aspirations into reality. It is the driving force behind every great achievement, from personal growth to professional success. If you want to create a life of purpose and fulfillment, self-discipline is the key that unlocks the door. Action is the key that transforms dreams into reality. Without action, no idea, no plan, no goal will ever amount to anything more than a fleeting thought. It is action that bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It is the force that turns potential into progress and theory into tangible results. Far too often, people get caught up in the planning phase, thinking, strategizing, and imagining their success. But without taking decisive action, all of that effort is meaningless. Action is the manifestation of intention. It's the moment when you stop thinking about what you want and start doing what it takes to achieve it. To succeed, you must be willing to take risks, to step out of your comfort zone, and to take action in the face of uncertainty. The truth is, there is no perfect moment to begin. There will never be a time when everything is aligned perfectly, when every condition is ideal, and when every doubt has been erased. Waiting for such a moment is a fool's errand. Success comes to those who take action despite the risks, the unknowns, and the challenges. Every moment you spend hesitating or overthinking is a moment you lose, a moment when someone else is out there taking action and moving forward. The key is to act in the face of uncertainty, trusting that each step you take will lead you closer to your goal. Action is not just about doing, it's about doing with purpose and direction. Too many people take action without focus, hoping that the mere act of doing something will lead to success. But without a clear goal and a solid plan, action can become scattered and ineffective. The power of action lies in its alignment with purpose. When you know exactly what you want and you take deliberate action toward that goal, you are setting the stage for success. Every step you take should be aimed at moving you closer to your vision, and every action should be strategic and meaningful. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that the successful ones know how to focus their energy and efforts on what truly matters. It's also important to recognize that action breeds momentum. Often, people wait for motivation to strike before taking action. But the truth is, motivation is often the result of action, not the other way around. When you take that first step, even if it feels small or insignificant, you begin to create momentum. As you continue to take action, even in the face of setbacks or challenges, that momentum builds, and you gain the confidence and energy to keep going. Action has the power to break the inertia that holds you back, pushing you forward and building the momentum needed to keep progressing toward your goals. One of the most powerful aspects of taking action is that it provides valuable feedback. No plan, no strategy, no idea is perfect from the start. Action allows you to test your ideas, learn from your mistakes, and adjust your approach as needed. When you take action, you gain real-world insight into what works and what doesn't. This feedback is essential for growth and improvement. The more action you take, the more opportunities you have to refine your strategies, improve your skills, and get closer to your desired outcome. In fact, action is often the best teacher. You can plan and prepare all you want, but it is only through taking action that you truly understand what it takes to succeed. Taking action also has the power to eliminate fear. Fear is often what holds people back from moving forward. They are afraid of failure, of making mistakes, or of not being good enough. But in reality, fear thrives in the absence of action. It is the fear of the unknown, the fear of taking that first step that holds people in place. Once you take action, you break the grip of fear. The act of moving forward, of putting yourself out there and doing something, diminishes the power of fear. With each action, you build your courage, your confidence, and your belief in yourself. Fear becomes less of a barrier when you take consistent action toward your goals. The more you act, the more fearless you become. Action also cultivates a sense of responsibility and accountability. When you take action toward your goals, you are no longer waiting for someone else to do the work for you. You take ownership of your journey. You are responsible for the results, and that responsibility becomes a powerful motivator. There's no one else to blame for your progress or lack thereof. When you take action, you step into the role of the creator of your own destiny. This sense of ownership fuels your determination and drives you to stay focused and persistent. You don't wait for the perfect conditions or for someone else to give you permission. You act because it is within your power to create the life you want. It's important to understand that taking action doesn't always mean taking massive leaps. Sometimes the most powerful actions are the small, consistent steps you take every day. Success is often a series of small, deliberate actions that accumulate over time. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results, but action, no matter how small, always leads to progress. The key is to keep moving forward, one step at a time. With every action, no matter how seemingly insignificant, you are laying the foundation for your success. These small actions compound and build momentum, leading to larger successes down the road. Ultimately, action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. No dream, no goal, no aspiration can be achieved without taking that first step. It's not enough to have ideas or plans or visions of success. You must take action to turn those dreams into reality. And even if the road is difficult, even if you encounter obstacles, action will carry you through. It will give you the momentum, the courage, the feedback, and the clarity you need to keep going. You can plan and strategize all you want, but until you take action, nothing will change. Action is the catalyst that turns possibility into reality. It's the key that unlocks the door to your success. In conclusion, action is not just an option, it is a necessity for success. No matter how grand your dreams, how brilliant your plans, or how strong your resolve, nothing will come to fruition without the courage to act. The world does not reward the dreamers or the thinkers alone. It rewards those who take consistent, deliberate steps toward their goals. Action is the force that propels you forward, that overcomes obstacles, and that turns potential into tangible results. Don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, or the perfect amount of motivation. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is the decision to take that first step. So, take action today. Move forward, even if it's small, even if it's uncertain, because each step brings you closer to your goal. Action is the key, and with it, nothing is impossible.